All right, so looks like we are no longer a accountant here at this railroad. We are now a subcontracting rail yard engineer. So this is Derail Valley. It is a train simulator. And the premise of the game is that we are in Derail Valley, which is a place, I suppose. And all of these little dots on here are little rail yards that we can go to. And they all have different industries that you have to supply goods to and from. And so we are acting kind of as like a subcontractor for this rail yard. And you can see we're at the steel mill right now with this little pin in the map here. There is a weather forecast every day. I don't think I have a watch. So I have to be in a station, I guess, to see the time. But it looks like it's around noonish, almost 1. Or noon 30 maybe. So it looks like we're going to be having some clear skies the rest of the day. You have your jobs laid out here that you can take. Each one of them is of a different type. The red ones are shunting. The yellow ones are logistical haul, where you haul empty cars to other stations. And then you have freight hauls, and which are these green ones, where you deliver goods to other stations. And you can tell from the job bill here, you have all of the information about the job. You have what type of job it is up at the top and the job number, and then down you have the starting location and then the delivering location, how long you can take before you don't get a bonus, how much the train value is, how heavy the train is, which is very important, especially at the beginning, but always really, then the train length, and then what licenses you need to get started, and then how much money it will pay as the flat amount. If you beat it within the time bonus minimum there, then you get a bonus to that. Over here you have the career manager. This is where you go to pay fees on your trains. So you have to pay for your fuel and damage and maintenance and things. And then you have licenses that you can come in and you can buy to be able to do things. We start out with the train driver, the DE2 license, which is a little shunter, and a freight haul license. We can buy a shunting license for $1,000, and I think that we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring up my wallet. I've got $2,000 starting with, so I'm going to go ahead and pop in. Oops, I have to select it first. Let's see, shunting, bink. There we go. Pop my wallet in there. Yep. Confirm it. All right, and we now have a shunting license. Congratulations! This license grants you access to all orders of the shunting type. Okay. Loading and unloading of cars within an industry, to and from storage tanks. All right, so as you get different licenses, your insurance copay goes up, or it could go up, and your time bonus may change as well. So these are the licenses I start with. And this little shed, I guess, is kind of like your little workshop, so you can store stuff in here. So it's pretty cool. There's a little shed like this around every station. And you can tell where the station is based on this little glowing green light on top of the building, a little flashing green light. So very cool. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to get started, and we're probably going to be doing some shunting work because that's something easy to get started with. Once again, we're at the steel mill, clear skies for the rest of the day. This is a map of all the industries and how they supply one another. We have several maps within our inventory as well. We have our comms radio we can use to switch switches. We have our world map, our station map, and our route map. We also have a nice little handy vehicle catalog down here that I will pop down here, and then also our compass, which I will put down there as well. Okay, so let's take a look at our stuff. We've got our switch radio. You can also re-rail and clear derailments and things with that. We've got our map of all of the stations. We've got our schematics of the station, so we can come in here and we can look at what the station looks like. So if we wanted to take a look, for example, at the steel mill, you can see we are now here at the station. So we're right here, and you can see how the B line comes in from the north and goes to the south, and then you can cross over here to the A line, and you have all these little sidings that you can store things in. You have input sidings, shunting sidings, and then inside of the B yard here, you've got 2 shunting sidings, 4 output sidings, and 1 input siding. So, and these are all your switches where you can choose to go left or right as your job may require. You also have a route map that shows all the switches on the world map. So these are all the switches. And once you buy a dispatcher license, you can change these switches remotely. You don't have to wait till you get right up on it to switch them. You can call a dispatcher and say, hey, change this switch, and they'll do so. So that's cool and handy. I also have my little handy dandy compass. And then we have our vehicle catalog, and the vehicle we're going to start with is the DE2 480. It's a shunting locomotive. It can haul 1,200 tons on a level, flat ground with no weather. It can hold up to 300 tons on a 2% grade, and then if it's raining, only 250 tons on a 2% grade. So it will struggle if you get into some pretty decent grades there. It is 38 tons itself, so you've got to keep that in mind when you're looking at the hauling as well. And here's all the scoring for all the different things it can do. You can see it's not great at hauling, but it's great at shunting. And its maintenance is okay. So you can see all the different locomotives you can get later on down the road as well. So, but for now, we're going to be sticking with the shunting, and we're going to be looking at some shunting jobs. Let's take a look and see what we got here. This one requires a long 2 license. No thanks, we won't be having that anytime soon, so I'll just throw that here in the garbage. These will refresh every time you leave the station yard, like you leave this rail yard to a certain distance and then come back. These will be refreshed, but don't need these. Okay, so really I have these 2 to choose from. I have some scrap containers that I need to unload and then store, so that wouldn't be too bad. They give me 36 minutes to do it, which wouldn't be too bad. Or we have load and prepare a train with steel rails, only 18 minutes to do it. Oh, okay, well, I think we'll take this one with 18 minutes. Load and prepare a train with steel rails for departure. It says the train cars are in A5S. So let's go over to A5S, take a look. Take note of SMSL30. I'm not going to start the mission yet because I don't want my time to start while I get everything prepared. So we're going to just pop this down here. We'll take SMSL30. So we're going to run out of the station, and we're going to run over here to the A yard. And there is a turntable here with a little DE2 engine parked outside. So we're going to go grab that. I'm going to try to play relatively realistically, meaning I'm not going to be doing a lot of teleporting around and fast travel and stuff. I'd like to utilize, movement as much as possible. I may teleport every once in a while if I get really bored of like a long travel. Or if I get lost or something, I might have to do something. But for now, we're just going to really try to utilize natural movement. Alright, so here's our turntable. We got our DE2 there. Let's go ahead and crank it up. We'll get the turntable into position first. You can use these controls by clicking and looking at them and moving it around, but you can't see what you're doing. So I'm just going to use the keyboard controls to do that. You do have to be in range of the control on the keyboard. Like, I can't use up and down, page up and down to move that if I'm way over here, for example. I have to be within reach of the controls. And I don't think that's strictly enforced in standard difficulty, which is what I'm in. But I'm going to try to play like that because I'd like to move up to realistic difficulty once I get my handle on the game a little bit. Because I like to play things kind of realistically. But we'll start off with standard, and we can change it later. And one of the good things about the realistic difficulty is it kind of keeps you honest a little bit. But one of the bad things is it doesn't allow external camera, in which I'd like to use to get some nice cinematic views, But once you get a certain license, you can customize your own difficulty. So that's pretty interesting. Why that's restricted to a license, I'm not exactly sure. But all right, the first thing we're going to do is turn on all our switches for our. I guess I didn't get lights. It's pretty light now. We're going to crank her up. Okay, I don't like that starter switch. It's hard to hold it correctly. Now we need to open this ball valve to our brake lines, which it's not super important until we get connected to cars, but I like to have it done. That way it's done, you know. You can see my brake pressure is going up there. You see the little flashing light, that means there is a handbrake on. So I'm going to turn that off. Now you can see my flashing light is now gone. You have a tachometer, a traction motor temp, ammeter, some sand, so if you get stuck. Our fuel and our oil, everything's good. If we start spinning out and hurt our traction motors, we'll get a fault here and lose one of our traction motors. And you got lights down here, these all work, and your windshield wipers, you even got a little cab fan in case you get a little warm. And then you have your reverser here, so you can go in reverse, neutral, or forward. We want to go forward. And finally our throttle, I'm just going to pop it up just a little bit, and we're going to coast forward onto the turntable here, and we're going to go check out our shunting job and see if we can find it. I've already forgotten the number. Unfortunately, I should have brought the paper with me. I didn't want to start the job per se, so it's okay. Here's our independent brake for just the locomotive. There we go. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake for when we use the turntable. Alright. Sprinting technically is a little bit cheaty because who sprints around all the time, but you know, who's got time for all the waiting. Alright, here we go. See, we are moving our turntable till it clicks. Oops, there we go. Alright, you can also use this to make minute adjustments as well. Okie dokie, Smokey. Jump up in here. Actually, there's no door there. Wrong side. Collide. Alright. Okie dokie. So it was on the. I know the sidecars were somewhere on the A line here, and there's some shunting yards over here. So we'll go check those out. There's some empty cars there, so we'll go check that out, see if we can find the right one for our mission. Should have wrote it down or brought the paper with me. I think you can carry the papers around as long as you don't take it outside the station. You should be fine. Okay. I'm going to try to not be super aggressive with my throttles and brakes. Try to be kind of conservative and minimize the damage I do. But you have insurance on your train, and until you start buying a bunch of licenses, it only costs $100 copay to repair the damage on your train. So it's a pretty decent cost, really, for the damage you can do. Alright, we just passed that points on that. So I'm going to apply the brakes. See, I'm applying the master brake. Not that it really matters, because I don't have a train attached. But alright, we'll bring up my radio. We're going to switch this to the right. Now, if you're not familiar with train switches, you read it from the bottom up. So you can see that from the bottom up, it's going to the left. We're going to switch it so that from the bottom up, it's going to the right. Alright, so it can be a little bit confusing, especially if you're like, oops, if you're feeling a little rushed, then it could be a little bit confusing there. But alright, I'm going to have this guy start rolling back, just really slowly. And we're going to go check out some of these train cars, see if we can find the right one. He should just come right down the tracks. And I'll hopefully have time to switch the switch before he gets here to the appropriate siding. And see what we can do here. There should be 3 cars. Come on back, Johnny. I might not have given it enough gas. It may stop before it gets here, but that's okay too. Alright, so here's 3 cars, and this one only has 2 cars, so I'm guessing that's this one. And you can see that this one does not have a brake applied, so I'm going to go ahead and do that so that whenever we bump into it, it doesn't roll. That's a long haul. See this little card on here? SMLH15, so that's not ours. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. That's not realistic. SMSL84. There's 2 there. Okay. Well, was 84 the one I was looking for? I don't recall. Eek! The train's getting on up there to the points. We got time. We got plenty of time. In fact, I think he might have stopped. Still rolling? You can see I can teleport there and get in straight away, but we're not gonna do that. Yeah, he stopped. All right, that's fine. Let's go check out our mission right quick. Make sure I get the right cars. I hate to get the wrong cars straight away. We'll get all set up. It's a little bit cheesy to get set up prior, but that's the way you make the good money with cheese. All right, so SM30 A5S. Okay, we'll just bring it with us. Oh, I need to be one more back. I need to be on this line. I'm on the wrong line. So there it is. A5S. I've already made a mistake. A5S. Oops. Which is the one on the left. So this points are set correctly. It'll take us to the one on the left. You can see it points to this rail line here. A little arrow. This one's 6i. It's got the scrap cars. So we might do that job as well. Let's see. Yeah, SM30. Heck yeah. Alright, so this one does have the brake set, so that's good. Just make sure all these others are not set. Okay. SM30 and SM30. Fantastic. Alright. 4 cars. We gotta go load it up with steel rails. Okay. Fantastic. Let's go hop in the locomotive and jump to some action. Alright. Let's go ahead and get cranking back to the forward. Got our brakes off. Okay, we're gonna go up past these points here and go down this line. Grab our cars, and then we're gonna take it over to this other line right next to it. That's the loading yard. So do that. All right, here's the points here. Just drift past them. Don't change it till you, which I think as long as you're merging, it doesn't matter. But I wouldn't want to change it and then like derail myself. Okay. All right, let's put the reverser in reverse, and there we go. We'll go down this 7L line to load the trains. Cars. I'm going to use a lot of improper terminology, so forgive me if you're a train aficionado. I am never really been a train aficionado, but I played this for like 2 hours. I stayed up so late playing it. It was so engaging. Just the shunting alone. I did do one freight haul, but then I got stuck because it started raining and it was too heavy, so I learned my lesson there. But yeah, you can also stick your head out the cab if you need to. If you got like a long cars, you need to look around. It's really cool. Okay, so let's see if we can ease this puppy in here. You don't want to be going more than 5 kilometers when you bump into the cars to keep from doing damage to them. So I'm about 2 kilometers there. Let's just ease right on in. We'll hit those bumpers. Should stop us because the brakes are on this thing. Bink. Alright. Could have been a little bit gentler, but that's okay. I like to throw the brake on whenever we're going to be down here messing with stuff, but you don't necessarily have to. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is you have to attach the train cars here, lock them together. There we go. Then you have to hook the brake line up and then open up the flow of the brake pressure. There you go, and you can hear it pressuring up. We're going to unlock the handbrake on the car, and I don't think the rest of them have a handbrake on. Yep, they're all good. Okay, let's go. We're going to take this over to the loading yard, but before we can load it, we have to take the job. So we're going to get prepped as much as possible. Okay. We all good? Alright, let's go. And away we go. Now, if you forget to put on to release a handbrake, you'll hear some serious groaning. But it makes a lot of noises regardless. There's a lot of noises made on the train whenever you are rolling. So, kind of makes you nervous until you get familiar with some of the sounds. But very cool. Very cool. Alright, so we're going to go up past those points there, and we'll switch that switch to bring us down the L line so we can get loaded up. We'll park in the loading zone, go turn in our mission so that it will mark it as active, and then go cash in our first mission. A lot of talking on this first one. There'll be less explanation in the future ones, so maybe we'll be able to get a little more done. But for those who aren't familiar with Derail Valley, I wanted to explain things to them a little bit. I am not an expert, okay? So I've only played a couple hours, but had a lot of fun so far. We're just gonna wait for the train cars there to pass the points on that switch, and then we'll give it the old switcheroo. Okay. Hit the brakes. And now I'm utilizing the brakes on all the cars with this master brake. So all the cars are connected to the locomotive's brake lines, and when I apply that master brake, it applies it for everyone, which is nice. Alright. Here we go. We're going to roll back to the loader. I suppose this is coal or something for a steamer. Coal, maybe water as well there. It looks like maybe a water pump here. So I haven't done anything with steam engines yet. Sounds cool though. Let's get a little more gas. Ain't got all day. I think the speed limit inside the rail yard is 50 kilometers. That seems awfully fast to me. When you're carrying 228 tons. Well, it's not 228 tons yet because they're not loaded yet, but they will be soon. So, alright, cool. So that little, I don't know if you can see it, that little stand right there, let's point my laser at it. That little stand right there is how you load up cars. So we'll park next to it. And there's a little animation where they get loaded. You don't get to see like trucks loading it or anything, unfortunately, but that's okay. The game is in early access, so it still is under development, but there's a lot of gameplay already, and incredibly fun. I don't know what it is about it. The monotony maybe of it is it's just so rewarding somehow. It's kind of like the Trader Life Simulator and some of those other lawnmower simulator, car mechanic simulator, where you just kind of do like kind of monotonous things, and it's really fun. You know, can't explain it. All right, I'm just gonna leave the train running, and we're gonna run on over here to the station, start the job, and then we'll hopefully get it done within 18 minutes. I don't think that'll be a problem. And then we'll have to load it up. Where are we taking it? B40, which it's not a 0, it's an O actually for output. B40. Okay, so we're going to take this over to our order validator to start the mission. Now we have a shunting folder here. This has all of the information about the job. Pick up the train. So we have to pick them up in A5S. We did that. Take them to A7L to load. That's what we're doing right now. And then we'll take them to B40 and uncouple them there. And then we'll turn it in and get our monies. So pretty cool. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the load mechanism. So we can cargo transfer, load or unload. We want to load. All right. They loaded on the steel rails. Now it's going to be 228 tons. It's a heavy boy. All right. Open the door. We're on a time limit now, so no more dilly-dallying. And away we go. Probably should have released the brake before I turned on the throttle. Let me spin my wheels. Don't want to increase speed too fast. She's a chunky. She's a chunky girl. You can see, if you increase your speed too quickly, this amp meter will come up here and you'll start spinning your wheels. And if your TM temperature gets too high, you start losing motors. I guess you have a motor for each wheel, I guess, perhaps. You've got several traction motors, I know that. You can probably look in the schematics and see how many traction motors you have. Probably 3, maybe, I guess. Oh, that's the wrong one. That don't make sense. Cool. Alright, so we need to go all the way out. Let's grab the station yard here. So we're coming out of A, right here. We're just coming out of this line. Then we're going to come out of B until we pass the points. Turn this switch back, and we'll back into B, and we'll back into 4O there. So, go and kill the throttle. Here's the switch that we have to pass right up there. Coast on up. This is level ground here. That's what that little sign underneath the 6 means. The 6 is the speed limit, 60 kilometers. And then there's indicating that there's a switch up ahead. Alright. Oh, okay. We need to turn this to go to the right as soon as we pass the points. Alright. Start slowing this mother down. Probably should have slowed down a little bit sooner than that. That's okay. Okay. I'm going to turn the reverser into reverse mode and start we're rolling a little bit. Oh! I just blew the motor. Dang! We were rolling too much whenever I applied the throttle to go backwards, and so I blew one of my motors. Alright. That's going to cost money. So I was going to flip the breaker, and I'm going to leave the brake applied a little bit until we get going here. There we go. That was a mistake. Alright. Now we're rolling. Okay, so for our station, we want to change this one to the left. And then we want to go, so we'll go left, and then we'll want to go right to go into 4O. So left, and then that next one will be, I don't know if I can reach it from here. Down here. All this thing's chugging. Chug along, little buddy. Riding the rails. Okay. I want this one to be to the right. I hope that siding is empty enough. Oof, there's quite a few cars in there, it looks like. It's unfortunate. Okay. We're going to give it a little more gas. We are on a time limit. 18 minutes. And you'll see that it's going to cost me extra money to repair the train, the locomotive. But I don't care because I got a copay of only $100. So, all right. That's definitely not gonna be enough room in there for this. We're just gonna try to push them. May have to go check the brakes though. Well, we'll decouple and see if it allows it. So going right, and then we're gonna go. We're going left, then we're gonna go right. That should be it. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough room for sure. Guess I should check that. It's fine. Oof. Yeah, maybe like 2 cars worth. Am I on the right siding? It looks like 3I. Here's 10, 20, 30. Oh yeah, this is 40. I'm on the right one. Now let's just make sure these are unlocked. Okay. Those are there. Man, they're all loaded though. Oof. There's a lot of them. Holy cow. Okay, well. Nothing to be done about that. Alright. We're gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. Hopefully we can get them all into the siding. Oh yeah, there's the signage. I just missed it when I walked past. We're gonna give them a little old bump. See if we can push them far enough to get it out of the way here. Usually you have room in the sidings to do the job, so it's strange that there wasn't room. But it's randomized, so. Alright. Get her in there, son. We'll give it the old bump. We're just going to try to push it. Hopefully none of the cars down the line have brakes on. Oh, look at that. We've got plenty of room. Plenty of room. Alright, so we'll just park it here, and I think it'll be fine. I don't think we'll have to push them at all. There you go. Come on, time's a ticking. Alright, I think that's good. Got neutral. Parking brake on. Kill the engine. I don't think you strictly have to detach the cars. But I don't know if you do or not. So I know you do have to put the handbrake on. So that's for sure. All right, let's go into the station, turn this job in, see if we get a bonus. Well, did that take us less than 18 minutes? Be close. All right. Took us 10 minutes. Okay. Very good. Time bonus of 2,600. Well done, it says. No damage was made. So that's good. No environment damage. That's also good. All right. So we can just throw this in the garbage. Let's get our monies. Okay, so now we have a whopping $8,900 in our wallet. If you take a look at our fees, we used up 1,700. Let's see, $1,726 worth of vehicle damage and used resources. So if you look here, you can see what the damage is on the wheels, on the powertrain, electrical powertrain. Probably when I blew that motor, for one thing. Probably not the best thing. You can manually service the vehicle. Once you get a little extra money, it'll be cheaper. And once you start getting more licenses, it's cheaper to manually maintenance your vehicles than with, and then you have to pay a little fee for emissions. But I'm just going to go ahead and clear the fees because I blew a motor. Normally, I would just let the fees rack up because it only costs $100. But I'm going to go ahead and clear them because I want all my motors intact. So, just going to go ahead and do that. And thank you. All right, so now we could do this other shunting job. Maybe we'll do that next time. Hope you enjoyed some Derail Valley. If you did, be sure and hit that like button. Let me know if you want to see more Derail Valley in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.